Hi guys, welcome back. So we are going to get into Sector 2 today of Conquest 13. Before we even start, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm obviously in a different room, so if my sound quality is bad, I apologize in advance. It's temporary. I'll hopefully be back to normal in about a month, but I'm sorry. Not while you're here. So we are going to go into Sector 2. I've gone all the way through on my main account on it already, and I am slowly working my way through it on Xerath's alt account, and I've got a little bit of a different strategy for both of them. So I'm going to touch on both and where they're kind of similar, and just the main difference realistically is the key cards that I'm looking, or the data discs, that I'm looking for. But other than that, a lot of the teams are the same. I'm not using a ton of Galactic Legends, which hopefully you guys will appreciate. And yeah, I'll let you know what I'm looking out for, and we can hop in. So Sector 2. I personally find the feats in Sector 2 to be amazing. One of them you don't even have to worry about, which is Siphoning Strike. Flawless Victory, where you basically just need to win 20 times without losing any units. And the reason why I say you don't need to worry about this one is if you need to do a battle over, it's totally fine if you're working on any of the other feats. But you can cycle through your roster here relatively easily. Obviously the caveat is that you need to also win 14 battles with Imperial troopers, with a full squad of Imperial troopers. So you want to try and do as many of your battles with them as possible. And to double dip, you don't want to lose units, so you want to have a strong Imperial trooper squad. If you don't, it's totally not the end of the world. You can make your way through it, no problem. My Imperial trooper squad on my main account is not that amazing, and I'm slowly making my way through it, getting those feats done. But the flawless victory, almost always I've found that I've been able to complete it without really thinking about it too hard. So again, you just don't need to lose a unit there. Obviously, Imperial troopers completely depends on your roster and if they're built up. So on my main account, I only have 3 of them. 3 or 4 of them are in relics. The other one that I use is gear 10, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. But I'm also doing the squad on Xerath's account, which I will show you. And he doesn't have a lot of relics on his alt account either, so it's totally doable. It just depends on the squad you're going up against. So I'm going to advise you not to look for squads with Nest, because that is not going to be trooperable for you. But I've been finding it really easy to go up against bounty hunter squads, particularly Bosk lead squads that don't have a ton of overprepared. I've been pretty successful with overprepared 1, but Bad Batch, I will beat this drum all day long. Bad Batch without overprepared, I look for in every single sector because it's the easiest team to get these kills against. And then health steal up we'll go into, and defense up is also stupid easy. I did it in 1 battle. If you guys don't know how to do this one, it's honestly like the most ridiculous one. So for health steal up, siphoning strike, and armor up, defense up, you don't need to win those 2. You just need to actually gain the buffs. So again, it's one of those ones where you're not going to want to forfeit the match, because if you've been able to get those buffs, even if you're losing, at least you won't lose your stamina and you'll get the tallies, like the points for however many you've collected towards these feats, versus forfeiting, you won't get anything. So the first one I want to show you is health steal up. So I'm doing this on my main account, and I'm going to use a Palpatine squad because Palpatine's special does health steal up. So I did it against him on Mothma. I was kind of hoping it would go a little bit longer, to be honest with you. But basically I just took in a full Empire/Sith team with Vader lead, and I loved the idea of using Thrawn here as well so that I could turn meter swap if necessary. I really wanted to have Palpatine get 2 turns with his special. And you'll see here, so you basically just go at it. I do win this battle, so I'm going to lose my stamina. But Palpatine here is the one that you want. His special where he siphons health off of his allies. All of his allies gain health steal up. So you're going to get 5 as soon as he does that one move, which is awesome. You can also use General Grievous droids for health steal up. His second special gives himself health steal. I chose not to do that because, again, it's only one person and I wanted to get through this as quickly as possible. If you are able to go against a team that does health steal up, so if you find a Grievous team, for example, you could take Grandmaster Yoda in against them and you'll be able to, once Grievous does his health steal up, his second special, and gets it, you'll be able to steal that buff with Grandmaster Yoda and spread it to your team. So you're able to do it that way as well. I just didn't have that opportunity, to be completely honest with you, and I figured I would take advantage of this one. So the next one that I want to show you is Defense Up. This one is so much fun, guys. I do it every single conquest that we have needed to get defense up on. This is the team I use, the exact team. It does not matter about your discs. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. You can, you're going to see, I'm going in against this Night Sister team. And I've already 3-starred the node, which again, doesn't matter because it doesn't matter if you win or lose. I do lose it. I'm fairly confident we're on Xeris alt right now. So let's hop in and look. So we're going to go down to our Galactic Republic and you're going to take, we're on Xeris Alt right now. We're going to take Clone Wars Chewie lead. So if you do not know this, his leadership gives defense up. When the allies take damage, the tanks will gain, I'm pretty sure it's tanks, I have to double check the wording, but they will gain defense up. So you basically take him and 4 tanks. I always take Malak 5s, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and General Kenobi. Again, does not matter if you win or lose. Doesn't matter if Clone Wars Chewbacca dies, because all he is there for is his leadership. So if he wants to die right away, that's fine. As you can see, he's gone. All you have to worry about is that he is geared enough to have his leadership ability unlocked. And then you basically just hang out and let them do their thing. You can see they're all gaining defense up this entire time. And these sisters are eventually just going to wreck them. So again, I did this in one fight on Xeris account. Because you need to get 60, it is a lot. You kind of need to survive long enough in order to do that. I actually had to do it twice on my own account. But overall, even using 2 battles for this is honestly really not that bad. And again, you don't need to win. As you can see, I'm about to die. So this one, if you don't know, now you know. I've used this one for the last, I think, 2 iterations of Conquest. So the last 6 months or so that we've had to have defense up as one of our feats. So we're about to die here with Malak. And literally this exact squad gets it done. No problem. 60 defense up in 1 battle. Okay. So that is every single Conquest. You're going to want that. Okay, so Imperial Trooper wins. This one is pretty straightforward. I, again, have been looking for Bad Batch teams like crazy. They are my bread and I love them in Conquest, Bad Batch without overprepared. So this is on my account, so you'll see my troopers that are not super amazing, but they will work. And pretty much all you want to do is try to kill Echo as soon as possible. If you can land Stagger on there with Stark, it's great once you can get past the taunt, because as soon as you can hit each person with Stagger, you're obviously removing their turn meter, so you're able to survive a little bit longer and get the win in. And honestly, these feats with wins are a grind, because you have to do 14, to be completely honest with you. And if you have a really strong team that's required for the wins, it's great because you can probably just walk through the sector. But if you don't, you really need to manage your stamina. And if you don't want to manage your stamina and you want to win and just barely win, you're not going to 3-star the nodes. So you kind of need to balance that and keep that in mind. If it's worthwhile for you to walk through it as quickly as possible and then go back and clean up, or go back and do the feats after the fact. Okay, and then the last one I want to show you is the mini boss, which the feat that I did on here was no rebels. Pretty straightforward, but I wanted to show you it just in case. So again, super straightforward, no rebels. I ended up doing this very easily on both of my accounts. Not my accounts, my account and Xera's account. And I just used Gas 50 first. It's very straightforward. On my account, I only have 2 discs equipped right now. I only have Leader's Resolve and Amplify Agony. So those are the only ones that are really coming into play here. In terms of discs that I'm looking out for, you may have noticed a bunch of old discs have come back and they've added new discs. I personally, on my own account, am looking for Amplify Agony. I love the build of Amplify Agony. I have no problems looking for that and using that all the time. The reason why I love it is because it doesn't steal your kills. And it completely depends. On Xera's alt account, I'm looking for Entrenched to gain all of that bonus protection. I'm obviously looking for Amplify Agony for him as well, and Caustic Emissions, just to get those extra debuffs out there. But I like Entrenched because his roster depth and squad depth isn't as wide in terms of Galactic Legends and being able to cycle through. So that Entrenched is giving me a little bit more protection, and it's creating that buffer so that I can move through the sectors more safely. So totally depends on your roster, but those are some of the discs that I personally really like looking for. I know a lot of people are liking the new discs that have come out, but I have not seen a single one at all between the 2 accounts. So, which is why I'm looking for Amplify Agony instead, and Caustic Emissions and all this fun stuff. So there you go. Gas 50 first, 5 people left standing, 1 shot, and that's 1 feat done. And then obviously at the end, on the main boss, the only other one that you need to worry about feat-wise would be you need to win with no Empire in your squad, which makes sense because the other boss feat in Sector 2 is to win with Veers and Snow Trooper, I believe, standing. 2 Imperial Troopers you need. So they juxtapose them like that on purpose so that you have to do 2 battles on the boss. And it's very straightforward. Obviously, winning without any Empire, just any squad will get it done. I ended up doing it. It's a Grievous team, so I did it with Jedi, and it was totally fine. So that is basically Sector 2 in as quick of a time as I can come up with. But yeah, so if you have other squads that you're using, I'd love to know. But that's pretty much what I'm using to go through the entire thing. Gas 50 first is pumping me through the sector without having to use any Galactic Legends, particularly on Xera's alt account. And CLS Rebels are also getting me through pretty far, and Vader Empire is getting me through pretty far. And then it's just taking the Imperial Trooper squad that you need for those wins against the particular squads to make my way through the sector and hopefully get them before we're done and not have to double back too much. So yeah, that is Sector 2, and hopefully we'll be done Sector 3 tomorrow and we'll be good to go, guys. All right, we will see you for Sector 3.